How's it going, guys? Thank you so much for joining me for the 2020 channel wrap up and pre-craziness, because this is going to be an interesting year. First of all, we've hit some pretty big milestones in the past few years, and I want to say, first of all, thank you. But please stick around, especially you Cosmere fans. I know I probably have a few more seconds to get your attention, but please, there's some major changes coming that you'll be interested in. I'll talk about those first. Then after that, I'm going to talk about the visual novel side of the channel and some of the changes we're going to see in the near future, along with my schedule for the next few games we're going to cover, and where I'm thinking after that we're probably going to go. So, thank you so much for sticking around for that, but first off, we got to talk about Cosmere. Okay, in case many of you may not even know this, because of this problem. When I started this channel, I based my channel off the things I found really important to me. There are two fields of this effectively: visual novels and Cosmere. Now, visual novels was originally just a subset of just games that were story driven, but I found that visual novels are just so much better at the story driven than like anything else. I decided to focus on them because I loved them and nobody else I knew in my life liked them or really cared about them, and so I wanted to share them with somebody, and so I could talk to people about it. Well, like, my voice just died there. But the other side of it is Brandon Sanderson. He's an American author, and he's one of the best authors I've come across. Now, I don't know how his work will stand the test of time, but I think he's got a good chance of becoming a classic. He's getting stronger and stronger as a writer, and he publishes like 1 or 2 books a year. Like, the man is just prolific. It's so amazing, and he's going through some incredible story arcs, fantastically written magic systems and worlds and a shared universe. So it's like the Marvel universe, but it makes a lot more sense. It's really awesome, and they're kind of the two big things I'm big fans of. But the problem is that if you made a Venn diagram of how many people enjoy visual novels and how many people enjoy Brandon Sanderson, this tiny little gap might have like 4 people in it, and I'm one of them. And it's been a problem because it's polarized some of the things on the channel. The most consistent people I see on the channel are the people who are participating in the visual novels, and you guys have my eternal gratitude. I love talking to you. I love hearing your thoughts, and I'm glad that I'm giving you stuff to come back for. However, the far most significant impact videos I've made have been about Brandon Sanderson. His reach and the popularity of his books is a lot greater, and the pool of people who are covering these topics on YouTube is much smaller than the visual novels. You put those two together, and I've got a few videos that are based on Cosmere that have viraled. And so if you're still listening to this and you're a Cosmere fan, thank you for being a part of that. And I know you guys have been kind of sitting in the dark because A, you almost never see Cosmere stuff on my channel, and B, I took kind of a year off. I was feeling a little, how do I put this? The community can sometimes be passionate, and with passion can sometimes come nastiness. And I started receiving a lot of the more negative side of that. And I also found that there were a lot of people who had started subscribing to my channel wanting more Cosmere, but they were drowning in visual novel. Because visual novel content, especially because it's basically reactionary and more analytical, it's a lot easier to make, and thus I make it a lot more often, and it's something consistent that I like to do because I want to play those games a lot. Brandon Sanderson content takes time to write. I contact to work with a lot of independent artists. The editing is very detailed. I need to make sure I present everything properly with proper citing, and also make sure that I'm doing everything just in order. Plus the script writing I want to do. I'm talking to people who read good books. I want to make sure I do the best I can with those to keep them consistent, concise, and clear. And even then, I know I mess up. But I just needed a break, because I was kind of getting a lot of heat from some of the more avid, outspoken, and maybe not the best representatives of the Cosmere fandom. And so a lot of people left because I'm not consistently making that contact. My statistics show me that most of the people who come to my channel are not subscribed. I'm guessing that at least half of the reason is because my Cosmere content is a little buried right now. So I'm going to change that. I'm doing an official video. I'm actually going to be posting on some of the subreddits and stuff, and on 17 Shard. Probably not going to get any traction because there's not going to be a whole lot to it besides the fact that I'm revamping and recommitting to the Letters from the Cosmere series this year. I have a plan to take care of things. I want to try and do at least 1 video a month if possible. I have several scripts ready. I've been working on them in the year I took off. Like, I've been kind of getting my stuff together. But there's two things I want to tell you about. First of all is the fact that there will be a delay because I was just able to hire an independent artist, actually one of the artists whose work I had featured in my Cosmere videos, is doing a custom piece to feature the main character protagonist whose voice you hear in the Letters from the Cosmere and his assistant. It's going to be the first time they're going to be premiering, and so far it's looking good. But this is something that takes time. It probably won't be for another month or two, and I've decided to hold off on fully going forward with the next stage of my plan until I have that art, because I think it's going to become very staple to the look of the channel. And by the way, that's the other big announcement. Letters from the Cosmere is now its official owned YouTube channel. Has 0 subscribers right now. There will be a link if you want to jump on the bandwagon early, and there's also going to be an independent Discord group for people who want to talk about Cosmere stuff in a fun, safe area. There's plenty of chat rooms for that, so I don't blame you if you don't want to come. 17 Shards got a really good one, and I highly recommend you go there. But I'm going to try and break it down into places where you can talk about specific series, like independently, that there will be zones that are supposed to be spoiler free, and I can restrict that in a really clever way. It'll be nice because it'll be a smaller community, I think, and so the benefits of that will be a lot more kind of hands-on, and hopefully I really want to try and take a step back because there are some gatekeepers, unfortunately, in a community that gets large, and like 17 Shards, no exception. So but if we have a smaller community and you're interested in having the more smaller, maybe more compassionate discussions sometimes, I imagine I'm hoping we can build a place like that. But again, it's mostly going to be a place where if you want to ask me questions or talk lore with me or a few other of my closer friends and moderators, it's a great place to go. But primarily, if you have been watching or waiting for Cosmere content, thank you for being patient. This year is going to be your year, and from then on, I'm going to hopefully also start doing some collaborative works with some of the other Cosmere creators who have sprung up since then. So look forward to that, and hopefully we'll be able to get that there. I'm also and the big thing about that is any Cosmere content is going to be re-uploaded. So I'm going to re-upload those videos, add some refreshed the personal art to it, and probably cut out the ending cards. I used to do these like rambles on the end of the videos, which was fine, I guess, but I don't personally like it because then if you put it in a playlist, you just hear rambles all the time, and that's something that annoys me when I was listening to music that would do that. And so I've decided I'm going to cut those out, and I'm going to just re-upload all the videos so you can find them all in one place, and there's nothing else to bother you. It's just going to be pure Cosmere all the way, and an all new Cosmere videos will be posted on the Letters from the Cosmere YouTube channel. I'm going to keep the videos up on my channel, but I'm going to very severely redirect to the new channel on them. But there's a lot of comments and discussion boards, and plus the views. It's really nice to see the achievements that the Cosmere content has achieved. I don't want that erased. Sorry, I just smacked the table. So there will always be a strong connection between these two channels, and I'm going to keep those ones up, but like inevitably if you want to see the new content, you really should go and subscribe to Letters from the Cosmere. It'll be pure Cosmere all the time, nothing else. So I won't be flooding your inbox with anime content if you don't like that at all. Now back to the VNs, because that's really the juicy part here. Most of you probably came for this because, again, my Cosmere audience is probably already left by now. And that's kind of sad to me. That's really why I decided I need to make this division. Sure, like the numbers of the videos, the numbers of the videos pull in are great, but I can see that it's too polarizing. I'd rather you guys have a place where you can go and you know exactly the kind of content you can expect and when you can expect it. So, for visual novel viewers, now's the time to talk about stuff because my year is going to be a little more packed. I'm taking on more responsibility, I'm having more and more time, but again, I'm also very much aware that I am easily going to topple myself if I go too hard. So there's a lot of things I'm going to be experimenting with this year and that I'm prepped to experiment with. But it's going to be a little rocky when it comes to shake-up. But the one thing you should be able to count on is the 3 videos a week minimum. I am going to hold to that. I've held to it for like 4 years now, very consistently. I've had very few breaks, and when those have come up, I've been able to communicate them clearly, and usually left you guys with at least something to work with while I was away. Now, I'm just going to step up things a bit. There are 2 aspects to this. The first one is the fact that I need to step up my visual novel content. I have recently posted on the Discord. I was asking you guys, like, just give me some thoughts about what it is you want me to do differently or to change, and I've given it a lot of thought, and I'm going to go over a few points. I'm not going to point out any names, and I'm probably going to delete the forum in a few weeks, just in case. If you, for some reason, want to get some last second thoughts to me, please post it as soon as possible. Otherwise, you could always message me on the Discord channel. It's so good having you all there. Like, there's a good number of people, and I'm very happy that you're there, and I hear you guys chatting a lot, especially when I start a new series or end one. But a few people have a lot of polarizing views about length of video, and so I want to talk about that one specifically. There are a lot of people who talk about, and I honestly can get both sides. The one side saying that like they love the videos, but the problem is that anything that's like an hour long is a little intimidating. Sometimes it takes time to get to it, and it can take a few days to fully watch it. I do understand that. Like one of my favorite creators, and he's going to become the crux of this entire conversation, and you'll see why in a minute. Many a True Nerd. He is one of my favorite creators because primarily he just covers what he loves. He was one of the inspirations for me to make content that I enjoy in the way, and to present it in the way that I enjoy it, because he doesn't do ad breaks in the middle of his videos. He does a Patreon, but he doesn't like super highly promote it. It's kind of like if you want to, it's there. He does live streams, which I hope to get more into, but again, that's a time issue. With the state of things, just with my home and family, it's just not very practical. So hopefully in the future we can do more of that, but it's not. Don't expect that too much. Besides very special occasions like rap parties. But his videos are consistently about an hour long. He does a few shorter ones, but usually they're an hour. Sometimes he's put out 1.5 or 2 hour videos. And I know for a fact that I find that daunting. Like, that can be tough, and it can take me several days to get through his videos. But for the same reason he does it, I want to keep my videos long. When I first started my channel, when I was first like rolling in, like when the steamroller started moving with the when the channel started getting momentum, when I started having consistent viewership and started having consistent subscribers joining the channel, I was at that time recording and publishing 30 to 40 minute videos. I remember feeling really stressed out if a video went higher than 40 minutes because I thought it was too long. But I also then started hearing people from the community who said that they felt like I wasn't getting enough into one episode because I tend to talk. I go on my rants. And so videos where I went on a rant especially could be half the video of me talking to the camera. And while that's fine, and it's one of the aspects that you guys consistently tell me is the reason why you like watching me, it does make it so the story can crawl, especially when I'm only doing 3 videos a week. So you guys were saying, well, maybe you could do shorter videos, but more in a week. And honestly, that's just a matter of semantics, really. Like, I could easily do 6 videos a week if I only do 3 recording sessions and then I just edit them. That's not too difficult. But the thing I was really thinking about with that was that YouTube's really sophisticated, and it keeps track of where you are in a video as long as you are kind of following up with it. And more importantly, I really like the idea of having kind of an arching narrative in the course of a video. And I do think that there are a lot of times where if I had stopped at 30 minutes, it would feel very incomplete. It'd be a lot of half thoughts. Visual novels are very plotting and methodical when it comes to their storytelling. And that typically means that if I make the videos too short, you can definitely have a very fluffy, but expository type of video where they just go over information. Good grief. Can you imagine muv-luv alternative? Like, anytime we were with the Yuko sensei, I would have had to do like 2 videos of her just talking to Takaru because she talked so much and went over so much information in a very long conversation. That would just be impractical. And I think a lot of visual novels would actually not come across as well. So I'm going to stick with the longer form. And I actually had people who said that they supported the longer form as well. So I'm not trying to ignore you, those of you who said you want shorter videos. I understand it is more digestible and it's not as convenient, but I try to compensate for that for you too. I really try and be really diligent with my playlists. So if you aren't able to complete a video and you need to go back to it later, if you just go to my playlist, you usually can just jump right back in and you can easily see where you were missing some time on a video. Of course, if there are more of you who are more concerned, continue to speak up. Maybe I'll change things if it just feels like it. Ideally, I'm hoping that someday I'll have the time to be able to do 5 videos a week, but all of them be an hour long. Now, that also comes with a challenge where, like, that's going to be tough for people just to sit and watch. And I don't expect you to just sit and watch every single thing I pump out. I don't think that's very practical. But I'm going to cover a lot of stories, and hopefully diverse stories, and that there will be things you'll be able to try. I hopefully can encourage you to not only watch and react, watch me respond to things that you've already read, but maybe even give you good ideas of new stories to try reading without spoiling them. You know, maybe watch the first episode of something new, see if it's something you're interested in, and then after you finish it, come join me for the ride or whatever. You know, like, the idea here is that I'm doing something I love, and I hope to share it with you in a consumable, friendly, and intriguing way. And thankfully, you guys have really helped make this dream come true. I doubt, like, visual novels are pretty niche. It's very unlikely I could ever become a career YouTuber this way. But my gosh, it's so fun and so much of a stress reliever. And it's so cool to connect with so many people from so many other countries. So thank you for being a part of this. Now, there were a few other things, but mostly you guys were very encouraging, saying, like, the things you do are the greatest. Your favorite things were often listing off the fact that I'll turn to the camera and just word vomit to you what I'm thinking. And I'm glad, because that's what I love to do. I'm terrible with movies, because if I'm watching movies, anime, TV shows, you name it, if I'm by myself, I do that to the TV, like, by myself. I'm an absolute maniac when it comes to, like, getting involved in stories. I get really immersed in them. And so when I'm around people, I have to hold it in. Like going to a theater. Like, I'm going to go see Weathering with You, the anime film made by the people who made Your Name. I'm seeing that tomorrow night. And I'm going to have to clamp my tongue, because I'm going to want to be interacting with the movie, because that's just how I love to consume my media. I like to make it personal. I like to have action. I like to have the full body experience, you could say. But I'm glad that I have a way to share that and that you actually enjoy it. That's the goal. Like, the best thing about doing this channel is that it's very personalized. You know, you get to see me, and I don't have to act. I don't have to, like, expound or like enhance my personality. You're getting me. It's nice, because I've also never felt like there's been people who really appreciated me, like, exposed, like, talking about, like, the science behind something, or sharing an experience I had while dating somebody, you know. But you guys do, and I love that, and thank you for that. Beyond that, it really kind of came down to just, you guys want to make sure that I can keep making good content and not burn myself out or, like, push myself too hard. There are little bits and pieces here too that I will continue to think about and work on as well. So thank you so much for all of you who took the time to respond to that. And like I said, I'll keep it open if some of you want to throw out a few more thoughts or honest feelings about the channel. But eventually I will take that off, because we already have too many tabs in that Discord for all the archives and everything. So I'm not gonna keep filling it up and leaving it sitting there if I can avoid it. Now, for future divulgence, I don't talk about a schedule too much for visual novels, because with the length of time it takes to finish a series, a lot changes. New titles come out that catch my eye. I get communications either with permissions to cover certain games, or even free access to games. That's becoming a bigger thing now. I'm very, very happy that visual novel companies are noticing me enough that they often are, not only are they giving me permission to cover their games, but they're actually giving me games. We had an issue where a manga gamer gave me 10 game keys for full-blown big visual novels. And I didn't feel comfortable taking all 10, because I knew it'd be like 5 years for me to get through all of that, because, like, there's other things I want to do personally, and I'm not just going to do whatever happens to be free. I mean, that's a motivation, and I'm so green in visual novels. Like, I've literally documented, like, every visual novel I've read, it's overwhelming to be given that much, and so I asked you guys for help to help narrow down the list, because I didn't know which ones were the best, and thankfully you did. But it's still gonna take forever for us to get to, like, Princess Evangeline, I guess. Now, Evangeline, I've been watching Princess and the Frog lately. Princess Evangel with Happiness, like, I heard that game's like a 70-hour game, so it's technically like the first game and the second game. I want to play it. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Lost Paws, that's one of his biggest series that he had. I think it's deleted now because YouTube smashed him a few years ago when it came to, like, anime stuff. Hopefully that doesn't happen to me. So far so good, right? I mean, Maybe it's because I don't swear as much and I tend to be very harsh with my editing, but, we'll see. But yeah, like, that's a game. I have no clue when we're getting to that. I want to do it, but like, there's so much else I want to do too that kind of takes priority. So let's talk about what we know is going to happen, because I'm actually, like, I just finished Steins Gate Zero as this video kind of tests. We'll do the wrap party next week. That's the thing. So Wednesday night, I'm going to do a live stream for the wrap party of Steins Gate Zero. If you want to participate, I'll make a posting asking if anyone's interested. You can message me and we can set up like topics you want to talk about, or you can just listen to me rant the whole time and just participate in chat. That's a great way to kind of stimulate conversation too. I have no trouble talking for an hour about a game, especially one as good as Steins Gate. But I also like the idea of working with anybody in the community who feels like they'd like to participate. So next Wednesday, because Saturdays are now with Melty and Melty, we're doing stuff with her. So, and I'm also saving Saturdays for something else as well. So I'm going to start doing wrap parties like during the week, the night of the day I would normally release that episode as part of that wrap. So a week from today is when we're doing Steins Gate Zero's wrap party. So many of you have already been asking, like, what are you doing next? And also Fata Morgana on Mondays and the Princess Stray Cat and Matters of the Heart, they're also close to wrapping. Because, I don't know, my life is just a giant coincidence. So, I'm going to be having 3 new series on the table, probably within the next month. And I had to put a lot of thought into it. And you have to understand, my list is present, like I have it categorized, but it's fluid because I get in different moods and I have different considerations and different things. And I'm trying to keep balance of various topics and intrigues, and I'm never going to be perfect at it. I just try to do my best. So I'm going to tell you what I know is coming up next, and then I'm going to talk about what probably in the near future, assuming there aren't any major changes. So, first thing first, what are we doing on Wednesdays after Steins Gate Zero? This is not going to be a big surprise, but there's a big reason for why it's going to be a little different. We are going to jump straight into Steins Gate Linear Bound Phenograph. I normally like to break things up. If I have a running series, I usually save running series for things that make sense. Muv-luv, I'm really happy I went boom, boom, boom. But I broke up Steins Gate mostly because the release of Steins Gate and Steins Gate Zero was staggered. Steins Gate Zero came out while I was doing Steins Gate, but I also had other stuff I wanted to get into, and I think the staggering is going to become a more common element for most series, just because I like shaking things up, and I think it's nice having breathers between series. However, I'm immediately defying that because of this, and here's the reason why. Because they just released that they just announced they're doing I believe a console release, but probably a Steam release too, of another Steins Gate title, Steins Gate's My Darling's Embrace, which looks like a very lovely, happy, go fun dating what if you could just date any of the girls in Steins Gate and didn't have to worry about time travel, CERN, Stratfor, crazy professors, or just the harsh realities of the universe. It is kind of a nice thing, and I want to get to that, but I want to have a break between some of the serious stories and that. So we're going to jump right into Linear Bound Phenograph and enjoy that to its fullest. It's probably on the shorter side compared to other Steins Gates, so I just don't anticipate it being in there very long, and I'll be able to move on fairly quickly. And also, Steins Gate is something that it's so convoluted and so in depth, it might be better to look at these lore packets sooner while it's still fresh in my memory, because otherwise I might lose track of what happened, and you'll all just have to remind me, and so it might be better that way. And then we can go and get into the lovey-dovey stuff in Darling's Embrace. If Darling's Embrace is shorter and you can date pretty much anybody, I might lift my restriction of a single ending and probably go for 2. I already think I know which 2, but we'll get to that. So you can look forward to more Steins Gate, but we're going to be doing some of the filler stories from Steins Gate Linear Bound Phenograph. I just think if we separate it too much, it would lose a lot of its context, and ultimately that would be detrimental to the story. So we're going to keep it kind of close, so I hope you don't mind, but I certainly am looking forward to it. Now, the other one is something that's going to be absolutely happening in the very near future, and I need to make sure you know it because we've got to get ready, got to get the hype train going. When we finish the House of Fata Morgana, muv-luv Mondays coming back, baby. We're doing muv-luv Photon Flowers. I've been waiting for a while. Honestly, Fata was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to time it really well and was going to play Photon Flowers shortly after it came out, but no, of course not. Why would I do that? It's never going to be timely on this channel. It's like I'm sure the Titanic turns around faster than my channel will. So hopefully there are no channel icebergs in the future. But we are going to bring back muv-luv Monday, and it's cool too because apparently we're having another muv-luv title that's in the works, and I wonder if they're going to be able to translate this one a lot faster. Like, it took forever for muv-luv up till now, and like the Aegis content to be translated, but because it's like gaining popularity, and like in the West, just in general, like anime, visual novels, they're becoming more popular. I think the anime industry is being more adaptive about that kind of thing. So I'm hoping that the new one will be able to translate to English soon. So cross your fingers. I'm also going to play the mobile game. I have no idea if it might be trash, but I'm going to absolutely try it, and I'll probably share, like, just to like kind of like, here's my impressions of it. See if it's something you want to play. Maybe we'll make a guild or something, but whatever. Photon Flowers. Photon Flowers absolutely coming up next, bringing back muv-luv Monday, and then Umineko. That's it, Umineko. Umineko and Higurashi, those two. I believe I'm going to start with Higurashi. I've heard people say that Umineko is like the more compelling and like hook-sinking story, but Higurashi technically came first. So clarify that for me if you want. Remember, the reason why I tend to not know so much is because I don't dare do too much research in case I see spoilers on accident. But from the little research I have done, I am planning to do that in the order, and I'm going to go through the all, and then probably take a break, and then go into... So I'm going to do probably all of Higurashi, like all the chapters. Like, that's one I just don't think I can break it up. It's going to be freaking long. So we're putting in our Monday slot, and I'll probably be doing it for 3 years, just like muv-luv. And then I might do something different a little bit, and then we'll jump back into Umineko, because then we can get the references that it makes to the first series. But again, we'll probably do all those in a block, because if I break those up too much, I just feel like I'll lose the plot too quickly. And so buckle up for all those. And apparently you guys have talked about how there are patches you can download of, I guess, like normally it was all just silent and reading, but I guess they added voices for the PS3 or the PSP version. And apparently it's not too difficult to get that patch installed, and I absolutely would love to do that. Because my poor voice acting skills, as much as I could use the practice, I don't know if I need to use it on you. So let's jump. We'll do that, and we'll get to it when we get to it, but that's definitely really immediate on the horizon, at least starting Higurashi. I've heard so much about it, so many of you clamoring for it, I can't ignore it anymore. Not that I have been ignoring it, but I can't. Like, it got bumped up. There were so many people who were making sure, like, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Have you tried this? I'm giving in. It's going to happen soon. So keep that in mind. And then finally, I got an interesting one. I've been getting a ton of support from smaller translator companies, and it's been wonderful. You guys are the best. But I'm starting to get the notice of a few others. So I'm going to try and diversify between, like, Manga Gamer, Fruitbag Factory, and other littler developers that kind of come through. However, we have an interesting one that's come through that I didn't really quite expect, but I'm really excited about. Especially because I'm pretty sure while it is definitely a visual novel in style, it's going to have a little gameplay tweaks to it, and I'm pretty sure it's Western. Like, I don't know for sure, because again, I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but I'm guessing this is Western, and I'm interested to try it out. It's the Vampire the Masquerade Courtiers of New York. Now, there's two reasons I'm doing this. Number one, I've always enjoyed the lore of Vampire Masquerade. I've never actually played the RPG game, whether LARP or tabletop, but I'm very interested in doing it sometime because I'm all about intrigue and politics stuff. You know, that's my kind of MO. I love that stuff. So I think it'd be really fun. And then there's also the brand new Vampires Masquerade, like full AAA title coming out this year that I'm super stoked for. And this seems like a fun way to kind of get back into the swing of things. You know, to be like, oh yeah, this is totally what I'm going to do. So we're definitely going to do that. It's probably going to take a Friday slot after we finish the Princess Stray Cat Matters of the Heart. Except, there is one little thing that's a little different. I recently got offered something that's a little familiar. Chusotsu. How many of you guys watched Chusotsu? Hopefully a lot of you, because that series really got me thinking and has a lot of thought-provoking and fascinating topics to talk about. But the people who made Chusotsu have actually released a mini-series. It's Chusotsu 1.5 graduation. So 1.5 graduation. The first one was first graduation. I imagine the next one is second graduation, you know, as these things go. But this one's a bit more of a short story. I was told by the representative who sent it to me, he's like, look, this one's it's only a couple hours, so maybe like 2-3 episodes. But the thing is, like, Chosotsu was such an impactful series for me. I want to jump into it. And with it being so short, it's going to be kind of like a little arch bridge. Not that it's really a great bridge between Princess Ecchi and Vampire Masquerade. But I want to do it anyway because it's really short and I got it just like a few days ago. So look forward to that on Fridays, a little before the Vampire Masquerade kicks off. And yeah, that's really like all the ones I want to nail down and actually say. There's so much going on, and I could tell you, I could spend hours talking about like my plans for the future. But the thing is that because they can be so volatile and can change so rapidly, and I want to have a combination of like examining classics, broadening and having various types of visual novels that we go through going, and ultimately wanting to also blend in new stuff that's just been released, because like I think that's a healthy thing for me to be seeing what's also coming out now and not just being lost in the classics. It's also good for representation, for finding people who are more interested in watching this kind of content. It's great to see retroactive reaction and like experiences through the classics, but like we also should keep our eye and support on the current people who are trying to continue to keep this genre alive. I think there's a good chance we could see a lot more people getting interested in visual novels. As anime becomes more and more popular, more and more mainstream, I think visual novels are going to be tugged along behind it a little bit. So let's give every opportunity to those people who are fighting and publishing and writing and sweating and bleeding to make visual novels. Let's support them. And part of the way I support them is doing my best to feature their content that looks interesting, to talk about it, to buy it, to do my best to show them support, and I hope you can too. Okay, this was long, and it's mostly going to be unedited because I feel like I've been pretty articulate and pretty honest. I think if a video gets too chopped up, it honestly feels very tacky to me, and so my style's always been very long cut, and I'm lucky that I am fairly articulate. So by using that blessing, I'm going to continue to talk about this, but ultimately that's kind of where the channel is. The channel's technically splitting. We're having a bit of a mitosis here. Actually more like meiosis, because one of them is going to be tiny and almost non-existent. But that's the Cosmere stuff. I just want the people who come to this channel for Cosmere, like, you need to have a place to go where you can expect new Cosmere and nothing else. Visual novel content, we have this stuff here. Now, as far as the new stuff goes, I almost forgot this. So, this part stuff. I got myself this for Christmas. It is a official Elgato capture card designed to capture second screens. I could technically use it on a second computer, but I'm intending to use it on a PlayStation. Why does this matter? This matters because of the biggest shocking change to my channel, and that is going to be something I've been hinting at for a while. I want to start exploring some more diverse content. Specifically, there are so many games that are really well written that aren't visual novels that catch my eye, and I think it'd be fun to share. We did a little bit of Greedfall. That was fun, but my computer was struggling with it, and it was kind of starting to impact the gameplay, and then I had surgery, and it really just threw me off the bandwagon for that. And as I've gotten better, I've realized it's about time for me to start just preparing for the next series, because I'm not going to delay it. As much as I was enjoying it, like, it was a good test run for the capabilities and a good herald of what I needed to do to prepare for Persona 5 Royale. I'm totally playing it. I played the crap out of the first game for sure, but we're absolutely going to just share that journey because I'm excited to see the new content. I think it'd be fun to share with you. I haven't watched the anime, and I never replayed it, so it's been over a year since I played it, so it should be pretty fun, all things considered, and, you know, I'll be decent at the game because I kind of know what's coming on. And then, of course, I really want to play the Vampire Masquerade game, so especially if you guys enjoyed the visual novel, I'm very likely to want to do that, the new Vampire Masquerade game live. Well, not live, but like make videos for it. But, you know, that could be long after it releases, which will be the sacrifice I'll have to make, is to hold off playing it until I can share it with you. But I think it's going to be worth it. So yeah, that's the biggest things. Like, so in summary, I've listed some of the titles that I'm going to be playing next. I'm going to stick to 3 videos a week and keep them kind of about an hour long. I know it's not ideal for everybody, but I feel like it's something that we can overcome, and I've seen a lot of channels that I respect for the way that they disseminate their content, doing hour-long videos typically. And while it can be a hassle for me, I find I still appreciate it personally, so I'm gonna stick with that. And then yeah, just the channel split and everything. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this. This is way longer than I assumed it was gonna be, but it's an important video. So I'm glad you stuck it out to the end if you did. If not, I'm glad you stuck around as long as you did. I'd love to have your comments about like what you think about the new year, anything that you're looking forward to, anything that you're hesitant or regretting, anything you just want to say to me. I'll be reading all the comments on this one especially because I want to make sure I'm keeping in tabs with all of you. Again, if you like Cosmere content, I've got a link in the description for the Letters from the Cosmere official YouTube channel and official Discord channel. If you like visual novels and you haven't subscribed yet, I really hope you do because we've got a lot of good stuff to cover, a lot of good playlists to check in the backlog in the meantime, and I got a great Discord community already. It's super fun to interact with, and it's a good chance for you to be able to participate in a live broadcast if you want to. And then finally, of course, on Saturdays, 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I've been doing live streams of Dream Daddy with Melting a Melty on her Twitch channel. I'm going to feature her on my channel a little bit. However, she's also going to be doing a lot of changes for 2020 and is going to be doing a little less visual novels. However, we still got a good vibe. She still has a good appreciation for visual novels. I'm hoping we can continue to do some collaborations in the future. But go give her a shout out. Go visit her Twitch. Go follow us so you can see when she's streaming, which is usually on the weekends. Really, really fun to follow. She's probably one of my favorite content creators at this point. Not just because like we've been able to do stuff together, but because I don't know, she's got a good vibe, and the way she like goes through the stories and how she gets invested in them and how she puts so much thought into them. She does remind me a lot of me. And so if you like me as a content creator, you'll probably like her. But again, that's my opinion. It's hard for me to be a good judge of that. But anyway, I hope you check it out. I'll try and throw a link for her down there too, but there's already a lot of stuff going on down there. So if not, just look up Meltica_Melty on Twitch. You should find her pretty quickly. But thank you so much for being here, so much for your time. I can breathe. I will do good. So thank you so much. And until the next video, you're watching me, I hope to see me in next. I'll see you there.